All right, yesterday was my top 10 NFC teams. The draft is over. Free agency is over. All the coaching hires are over. Now I'll do a couple more, combined top 10s as we get through camp, injuries pile up. But here we go. The AFC top 10. Number 1, Kansas City. They started 4 rookies in the Super Bowl. 10 different rookies played. They'll all be better. Super Bowl, 3 of the last 4 years. Matt Nagy returns as OC. They went and got another edge rusher and a receiver, a weapon for Mahomes. No reason they shouldn't be number 1. The Bengals at 2. Like the Chiefs, see a trend. They got an edge rusher and another receiver in the draft. They also got Orlando Brown left tackle. They got rid of a couple safeties. That tells me the franchise is smart with their money and knows what to do. You don't need great safeties. Burrow is the most sacked quarterback over the last 2 years. They've got to protect him. They can ill afford injuries up front. But Burrow and Mahomes are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league. No reason it's not Chiefs-Bengals to start. My surprise team in the AFC, and I've been reluctant the last 2 years to embrace them, the Chargers. I think Kellen Moore was a huge gaffe by the Cowboys letting him go. What did they do? Like the Chiefs and Bengals. Top 2 picks. Wide receiver weapon for Herbert, and a great edge rusher. See a trend in the AFC. They also get their great left tackle back, Rashawn Slater, J.C. Jackson back at corner. Last year, they didn't have as many big plays as they wanted. That's a lot to me about the coordinator. Chargers rise to 3. Number 4, let's not go crazy on the Bills. They were 13-3. They've added Damian Harris, a running back. They moved up to get the best tight end in the draft, Dalton Kincaid. I think they're fine. I do think O-line still becomes an issue. 31st in yards to the tight end. Now they've got 2. Dawson Knox I like as well. Let's not overstate their regression. They're still the most talented team in their division with a superstar quarterback and a nasty front 7. Number 5, a team I think could end up as the number 1 seed because of their awful division, the Jaguars. Don't forget Calvin Ridley. He'll be a 75 to 80 catch guy. The division's awful. Travis Etienne, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and Doug Peterson now in a second year. They've got all the money in, right? Last year it was new coach, all new players. They've let that bake. Bad division, wouldn't be shocked if they were the number 1 seed and a 13-win team. Now it gets muddled, and I don't love any of these teams, but there's reason to like all of them. I think the Ravens are going to be really good. I think they became the fastest team. Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman comes back, and Lamar Jackson is in. So I'm putting the Ravens at 6. I love their coach. Todd Monken's the coordinator. We'll wait and see. The culture's great. The defense is strong. They're now as fast as anybody in the division. And Lamar Jackson's happy. He wins 75% of his games, and they've really bolstered their wide receiving core, which was their weakness. I think a happy Lamar can vie for the division. Now it gets really tight. The Broncos, and the reason I make them number 7 is they shored up their O-line with Mike McGlinchey and Ben Powers. But I think people forget how good running back Javonte Williams was, or Tim Patrick, they're both back, or their left tackle Garrett Bowles, or Randy Gregory. A lot of big injuries to stars last year, and no team improves in coaching more than the Nathaniel Hackett to Sean Payton pivot. This is a very good team. They went and got another receiver, Marvin Mims. The offense will look completely different, and I already like the defense. Broncos at 7. 8, the Jets. I don't love Nathaniel Hackett, but Aaron Rodgers does, so I'll go with it. I think most of their good players are young. Aaron's not necessarily great with young, but I do like Breece Hall. Elijah Vera Tucker is back on the O-line. I think he is an outstanding interior offensive lineman. They can ill afford to get a receiver hurt. Alan Lazard, he's good. He's not great. They're very young on offense. I want to see how Aaron Rodgers and Hackett make that work. My feeling is Aaron would be better in year 2 than year 1, but I have them at 8. Number 9, a team of stock I'm buying is the Steelers. I thought they had the best draft. They had 3 needs. They nailed all of them. I think their first 5 picks will all play a lot. Also, at the end of the year, Kenny Pickett played pretty well. 5 TDs and 1 pick over his last 7 games. I don't know if he's a star, but getting Broderick Jones, going out, upgrading the offensive line, Joey Porter, Darnell Washington, a blocking tight end. Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons. Pittsburgh is sneaky good. I have him at 9. And number 10, Miami. I do not believe Tua plays 17 games, probably closer to 13 or 14. They did not address their offensive line. I think their number one acquisition, Jalen Ramsey and Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator. They will be a much better defensive team. But if Tua's your quarterback with concussion concerns, I'm a little bothered they didn't attack the offensive line. So there is my top 10. I love my first 5. KC, Cincy, Chargers, Bills, Jags. After that, I think it's really close. It will depend. Can Odell Beckham stay healthy? Can Aaron Rodgers stay happy? Can Sean Payton and Russell Wilson work? Does Kenny Pickett grow? Does Tua stay on the field? I love my top 5. I'll say it again. The most underrated team in the league may be Jacksonville in that division. They could easily beat Houston, Tennessee, and the Colts twice, go 6-0 in division. Kansas City is not running through their division. It's just too good. Now you've added Sean Payton to it. J-Mac, any thoughts?
Oof, woo. This is much better than the NFC one, where you were missing the Saints. The Cleveland Browns have a win total of 9.5 in Vegas.
I don't buy it. I'm a seller on it. I don't buy it. Didn't like their draft. I don't buy it.
First 8 quarterbacks of these teams, probably, it's early on Trevor Lawrence, but probably Hall of Fame bound. I mean, you got MVPs all over the place. The quarterbacks are ridiculous in the top 8.
Well, could I argue your first 8 quarterbacks in the AFC, the first 8 teams have the best 8 quarterbacks?
Well, I know we like Jalen Hurts a lot.
No, I'm talking I'm saying in the AFC.
The AFC. Yeah.
Am I ranking teams or quarterbacks?
Yeah,
that's not a bad.
Not a lot to quibble with here. I might have dropped the Dolphins out. I don't think much of them.
Who would you have put in?
Where do you have anybody but the Dolphins? No.
New England.
I'm not as low on the Browns as you are. I think there's a bounce back. New England has a win total of 7.5, their lowest in 22 years.
They're the slowest offense in the conference, and they drafted kickers and guards.
Do you have an issue with having 3 teams in the AFC West in your top 7? Because,
no.
I mean, I think mathematically, is that impossible?
Well, I think the Raiders are going to be not.
You think
great.
they're going to be awful?
Well, it's not.
Jimmy Garoppolo has never been awful.
It's not awful. It's just if you're the 4th place team in the SEC. You're not awful. You're just the 4th best team in the best division. The 4th best SEC team can win some years the Pac-12 and the Big 12. So I just think it's just one of those weird things where just you have great quarterbacks. I think the yesterday I said Carolina's going to be better than people think. The Chargers, and by the way, I live in L.A. I got friends in the building. I have pushed back for 2 years on them. I think they finally have, when they were healthy last year, their defense was pretty darn good in the last month. If they can stay healthy, they added 2 starters on defense.
J.C. Jackson coming back from that knee injury.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.